leave it where it is. I mean,
I think you got closer to it at the end there. I think that it's a subject that they're concerned that if they started talking about targeted individuals and what's going on, that they may take it serious, but they're concerned about the ridicule or what may come about the media. I guess people call me and I said, well, I called my congressman or my senator. I said, phone calls, that's good, but I said, what you have to do, especially these U.S. congressmen or senators, try and sit down. They usually have district offices. You may not be able to get an audience with them. Sit down with their staff people, face to face, and very seriously explain to them what's going on. Letters are fine; they can get filed away, but I think it has to get as personal as you can. Let the individual across the desk from you to understand that you're very sincere in what's going on, and that's just you can send a lot of communiques. So I stress with people to get as close as they can to the congressmen or the senators, that they understand how serious this is. And I think, who has Dennis Kucinich, and we've had a couple, 3 others that have made some attempts to have some hearings on this, but unfortunately, I believe it's going to take quite a while before we expose something, and that's why I keep thinking that the quicker we can get more hard evidence out there of these implanted chips or somebody to start talking about what they've been doing and get the media to make it public, then, right. Well, I think
you have your own show. You have the Jim Guest show.
Yes.
And I know you have people on who are discussing a lot of the issues of the day and what's taking place out here, and a lot of professionals. And so obviously you feel it necessary to do the same. So you're out there telling the public through your own show, okay, and a great risk, I would imagine, to, everything else that you do, to get this word out, which I really have high respect for you for doing so. I really do. So in other words, it's that important for advocates to form media channels and connections to help get the information out. Is that correct?
That is correct. I've had many people, say, let me come on your program and talk about it. But I've been reluctant to do that without personally, talking to them. When I had Dr. John Hall and Dr. Terry Robertson, I'd met with them face-to-face prior to this, because we talked about the outline of what we're going to talk about. I wanted to make sure that who I was talking to was credible. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you get, I know most of these people that call me are very passionate, they're very sincere, they are targeted individuals, and unfortunately there's a few of them mixed in there that after you listen to them for a period of time, you kind of question, how stable they are. So, it just takes 1 or 2 of those to completely kill the effort that we've got going into this.
So don't you think, sir, that some of those people that are doing this could possibly be planned to actually discredit the targeted community?
You bet. That's it. But like I said, we have to be very careful. You have 1 or 2 there that, let's say, it's a plant, and that, kind of blow up all the work or progress we've been made here, that we made on this. So that's why I've had a couple, outside of Dr. Hall and Dr. Robertson, I've had 1 or 2 others for a short period of time on my program, but I've been trying to, I don't want to discredit my program, and people think that I've got a bunch of people that are mentally unstable on there. So I'm sure you understand where we're coming from on this too.
Right.
So.
What exactly would you advise the targeted community to do in a whole to try to get the oversight committee to do something about this?
That is going to be very difficult to do. We just have, like I said, keep trying to pressure some congressmen or senators to actually believe in what's going on, and then initiate some hearings on this. Unfortunately, right now, it's our federal government is overwhelmed with other issues right now, but they do have some hearings that go on. So it's.
Do you believe that some of these that some of your constituents constituents and some members of Congress are actually complicit in these crimes? Is it possible?
I don't.
I mean, because of the fact that I'm not asking, to discredit, the people you work with or anything, but my question is general. I mean, these black ops programs and the funding that keeps them going, or the above-board funding, I should say, that keep a lot of these programs going, is issued probably through, agencies such as these medical device companies, a company like DARPA that comes up with a lot of the military ideas, for the robotics and, the lasers and all the things that seem to be tested on a lot of the targeted individuals out here in this country, as well as other countries that seem to be using directed energy weapons on their citizens, as well as acoustic weapons. So I'm wondering if that's part of it when people make claims like this in the United States that they're being targeted by citizens who live next door or across the street, and they take pictures, for example, and they call a local enforcement agency, and the local enforcement officer comes to their home and says, well, you know what, we don't believe you, we think you're mentally ill, and here's the person with pictures and all the evidence that they need. There obviously is a government program that will keep police, and we've discussed this earlier in the show about Homeland Security and fusion centers, and that some of the state police are being told this is what you're going to do, and some of them will follow it because they're told to do so, and some will, of course, not follow this. So there seems to be a tearing at the fabric of this country, and I'm sure you of all people definitely know that to be the case. That our country is being torn now by this movement that seems to be subverting our old ideals of the Constitution and the freedoms towards this other, towards this other side. So I'm just wondering where the percentage lies within our government, as far as how many really are in office right now that are part of this program that want to take the country out of democracy and away from freedom to this what some people call communism, socialism, or even fascism, for that matter. Is there any idea?
I believe that a high percentage of our congressmen and senators are not knowledgeable of what's going on here. I'm just trying to think here in Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think what happens is some of these companies or some of the funding or some of these agencies may get the support of a certain senator or congressman, but they're not telling them the true reason that they need this funding, or actually what